Hey, you guys, welcome back. It is summertime. It's mid-July. We are talking about what you can't see, you can't see. So this is all about perception. It's about the way we see ourselves, the way we see life. I mean, how many times, whether it's you or somebody else, do you feel like everybody else sees things the way you do? Or they should see things the way you do. And you learn that they don't. And you're like, what is this person thinking? Right? Why don't they see it the way I see it? So we're going to be talking about that on this week's episode of the Soul Frequency Sessions. If you are loving this show, please go and rate and review the show in iTunes, the Soul Frequency Show. Subscribe, join in on the fun. You get to see all the hand gestures here, but you can also listen to the audio while you're on a walk or driving or enjoying, and listen to our interview episodes as well. They're fantastic, and I love doing them and sharing them with you. So today we are talking about you can't see what you can't see, and we're going to dive right into this week's episode. Here we go. This is Shauna Lee, and welcome to this week's The Soul Frequency Sessions. Real talk about real life and how to raise your energy frequency. All right, all my YouTube friends are already here with us. We are just starting this episode. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, go over and do that immediately. We give some extra content at the beginning and the end of these sessions, and it's lots of fun. And today we're talking about you can't see what you can't see. And this is all about how we perceive life and perspectives. I'm sure you had an experience many times in your life where you're talking to somebody and they're sharing a perspective on life and you're thinking, what are they talking about? Like, where are they coming from? This is wild stuff, because your perspective and perception is so vastly different. And I think as kids, I remember a time in my own life where I really started to realize that not everybody had the same life experience, right? Not everybody had the same, lived in the same house and had the same parents and did the same things that I did when I was a kid, or thought the same way that I did. And it was like mind-boggling, right? It's like when we're kids, we just think everybody has the same life, right? We don't really realize that there are so many different perspectives. And we go into adulthood still not realizing how vast the perspectives really are and how different it is and that we perceive life. And I think one of the biggest gifts that we have is to be able to realize how unique and different we each are, and to start to be really fluid with perception and reality, and understanding that even though we have a certain reality today, we might not have that same reality a year from now or 10 years from now. And thank goodness, because we're all evolving. And this is where I feel like, spiritual work, coaching, things of that nature are really valuable, because we cannot see what we cannot see. If I asked you where you were 10 years ago and the way that you perceived life, it was probably different, right? In probably many different areas of your life. And it's because you couldn't see what you now see. So think about 10 years forward. You're going to see more than what you see now, and your perspective is going to be different. And our perspective is built as a unique individual, but our perspective also can be largely based on the generation that we're in, right? You'll notice probably, an older generation from you sees life differently, and younger generation from you sees life differently. That we all, as we move through this human experience, have these shifts in perspective, and that we need to start to honor other people's perspectives like we honor our own. And we also need to honor that our perspective is always changing, right? And that how you felt 2 years ago might not be how you feel now about any subject, because more information has risen to the surface. You have accessed opinions, right, and ideas of other people, and maybe that has influenced your perspective. When we read a great book, when we listen to a podcast, when we connect with like-minded people, we can get into very expansive states where we start to understand ourselves and life differently. And the things that you have lived through, right, and will continue to live through, will shift your perspective, and you will continue to evolve and grow from those experiences, and even probably mostly from the really tough ones, right? The tough things that we go through in life grow us immensely. And on a frequency perspective, what we can't see keeps us from new frequencies. So imagine yourself living in like a little box, right? You have parameters to what you can currently see, and those parameters keep you in a certain frequency. So when we're going to shift our energetic frequency, it requires us to widen that box, right? And to see things that we haven't seen before. That is exactly how your frequency shifts. And you're going to release things from your life, like we talk about in the Soul Frequency book, because you see new perspectives, right? You're going to, part of moving that box, the walls of that box wider and wider, is that things that you used to hold tight to, you're not going to be able to anymore. It just isn't real for you to hold tight to them anymore. And we have to loosen our grip, right? On the things that we said, this is the way life is. Right? Like, it is this way. And sometimes we really have a tight grip on that. And maybe you know people in your life that also have a tight grip on the way life is. And we are being called up at this time to see life in different ways, and to see that life isn't just a rigid box, right? That life is multidimensional, multifactorial, multi-reality based. And that we have the choice at this time of what frequency we would like to live at. And we have the ability, with the new information that is so readily coming onto this planet, to be able to change the energy that we are, right? And where we're resonating, therefore changing everything that we see around us. So it's what you can't see that you want to start seeing. And if you went into a coaching relationship, like we did a one-on-one session together, or you were in the Soul Frequency Experience program, like you're going to see things that you've never seen before, and that's going to allow you to ascend. And so anywhere in your life, right, whether it's health or career or relationships or anything, right, you want to start looking at, where am I feeling constrained and stuck? And you want to just pose the question to yourself, what is it that I can't see? And you might not be able to answer that question yourself because you can't see it. But you want to just start opening the door in your mind to that there's probably things there that you can't see, and that's why you're feeling stuck. And it is the perfect time to get some support around that, right? So whether it's an intuitive or a coach, a great coach, or a spiritual advisor, whatever it is, right? We want to start getting ourselves in the presence of somebody that can help us see what we can't see, because that is the way that we grow. That's the way that we ascend in our frequency. That's the way that we understand life. And on a big, big grand level, it's the way that we evolve as humanity, right? From the inside out, starting to create new based on a new frequency on this planet. So this week, think about, write down what it is, right, that is stuck in your life. What is stuck energy, where you're feeling stuck, and start really thinking about what you can't see, because it's there, right? And this will just start opening the door to either people crossing your path, right? You saying yes to a coaching relationship or a spiritual advisor and starting to move forward in your life. When we just start pondering these things, new awareness, new information, new people, new things start stepping into our life. So have an amazing week ahead, thinking about what you can't see that is going to expand your life. All right, what an episode, you guys. So I want to go a little deeper with this for everybody here on YouTube. Let's think about, in the past, what we didn't know that we know today. So if you write down, what in the past did you not know that you now know today, it can start to also open up the box, right? Our minds are vast, right? Our consciousness is vast. We just need to start asking the right questions to open up a new awareness. So start thinking about, what are the new things you've learned in the past 5 years that really like blew your mind, right? Or blew your life open to a new level. It's like, whoa, oh my gosh, I expanded from this. and start thinking about those things and thinking about what might be another bit and piece to that specific thing that you learned that you haven't yet seen. And you can also ask your angels or guides or higher power, like, please show me what I cannot see. So whether it's in a dream state while you're sleeping, or whether it's in a meditation, if you do that, or quiet contemplation, or while you're out on a walk, you really want to invite in, what is it that I cannot see? And allow that to start to come in. And whether you have a powerful realization or intuition about that, or whether it just feels like a blank wall, get yourself some support, get some people to be advising you. You can certainly sign up for a intuitive frequency coaching session through my website. I'll put the link below this, and start really expanding for yourself, right? What is possible? What can't I yet see? And how can I see this? I'll see you guys back here next week.